Oh, where's my microphone? It's all the way over here. Get over here, microphone. Hello. We're live. I left my microphone all the way on the other side of my desk, but it's here now. Hi, I'm Amanda Cull, and I'm going to draw some comics. So I am working on another page from I Am the First. This is chapter 3, page 6. You can't see that because the light is glaring. That's what it says on there. So I already put down my panel borders. I already have my perspective grids on here because those are kind of difficult I have to use the whole desk to lay out perspective grids. So it's kind of difficult to do in a stream. I'll have to record myself doing that separately sometime. So that's already prepared. I have my thumbnail off to the side here. This is the guide for what I'm going to be drawing today. So that's the basic idea of what this page should look like when it's done. I also have my script over here just to make sure that the stuff I have going on in the thumbnail makes sense. Make sure I understand what my scribbles mean. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start roughing in this page. This is actually, hey Spud, thanks for joining me. This is actually taking place in a setting from chapter 2. So chapter 2 is out. So if you've read it, this will be a familiar setting and some familiar characters to you. So I just finished on the previous stream. I had just finished a different I Am the First page. So normally I'd be switching over to an Age of Night page for this week, but I'm at the end of a chapter, so that's not really gonna work. Because I don't want to show you the end of the chapter. That's a beer bottle, why not? Hey Ilya, thanks for joining me. Working on some comics. It's another totally a beer bottle shape. Get these mannequins in place. It can be tricky when you have two figures that need to be interacting somehow on a very particular point, like they're just clinking their beer bottles together. It's like I have to make sure that everything actually lines up to hit that target. Alright, we've got the bar back here. Corner. This is 2-point perspective, so there will always be a corner somewhere because you've got one vanishing point over here, one vanishing point over here, which means that you must be looking at a corner somewhere in your picture plane. And I'm going to scoot that figure forward a little bit. That's a little bit far over. His body is going to be like half off out of the panel. We don't scoot forward a bit. door frame, exit sign, back to drawing this figure. Hope everyone is doing well today. I need to make him bigger because as it stands right now, his feet, he'd be levitating. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Something is wrong here. I feel like the door needs to be farther away too. So I think I'm going to push that corner back because this just looks like too close. I think that's how I drew it in the thumbnail, but that looks wrong once I make it this size. So we're really early in the drawing. It's a good time to figure these things out and go, nope. Make sure I don't lose my perspective grid here. So we're just going to push that corner a little bit back. So that makes, I've extended this wall, so that makes this wall further away, which right now doesn't look like it, but it will. Again, I want him over here. He needs to be over here more. So he's a little further in from the door than what I had initially done in the thumbnail, but that's okay. That works too. Hey, Story Comic is here. Thanks for joining me. Didn't you like just have an interview? Didn't you just get out of an interview? I feel like you did. You did. That's what I thought. I didn't get to watch it because I was getting ready for the stream, but I'll have to watch it later. Okay. I think there's a couple of doors over here, if I remember correctly. That looks too big. I had to cut it short because I need to hang out with the gallster. Oh my. I really hope you didn't actually cut your interview short just to watch me struggle to draw a bar. There we go. Okay. Okay. I don't remember whether this door opens in or out. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Let me look that up. I probably have quite a few details I need to look up for this scene because I drew it for like a few pages a couple months ago, so I don't really remember. So I'm going to pull up. No, that's not it. Chapter 2. Final pages. Yeah, I drew it for like 2.5 pages for the last issue, so I don't remember where some of this stuff is. I never drew the door opening or closing, so I guess it could go either way. Oh, there's a bar on the inside of the door, like a push bar, so it must open out. Okay. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay. That's what I thought. I didn't really. I just wanted it to be that way because that would make drawing this panel easier. There. There's that. There's the door. Okay, we've got that sort of figured out anyway. All right, we've got a word balloon here, which again, I'm not doing the word balloons at this stage, but I like to make sure that I leave space for them. so that when I digitally letter later, I have that space and it fits into the flow of the page instead of getting to the end and then being like, oh, wait, I didn't leave any room for the words that need to be in this comic. It's not a good place to be at. Gotta plan for them from the beginning and leave space for them in the drawing. All right, following this perspective grid. Sort of, kind of, getting a little squashy there. Now you can't see that from here. You can see the mirror with the shelf on it. So we can add that. If I can draw a straight line tonight, apparently is a challenge for me. All right. So we've got, hey Keith, thanks for joining. This character here. Sitting down. Nope, I want his arm forward. As he's sitting down. And again, I have a target I have to hit here with this figure, which is tricky. I'm doing pretty good, Keith. How are you? I think this needs to come over a little bit. And now I erased the bartender's head. Whoops, sorry, dude. There we go. Same old, yeah. I have many spring chores I need to start working on. I keep on being like, I don't wanna. Alright, got another word balloon over here. I gotta look up what these look like. One of these little pory doodad things. This looks very silly right now, but I gotta look up what it looks like. One one of those things they attach to the top of the liquor bottles to make them easier to pour at the bar. He's not twisted around quite that much. Got this character doing yoga here. We don't need to be doing yoga. All right. Spud says, do you use mostly the same size lettering and spacing for your text, or does it depend on the panel? I try to keep it pretty consistent. Most of the time, it's the same. Every once in a while, it'll be bigger if it's like a sound effect or somebody shouting or something like that. I try to avoid ever making it smaller because I don't want it to be too small that it becomes difficult to read. So for the most part, I keep it the same. And a lot of times I end up having more space than I really need, which is good. It's better to have more space than run out of space. Every once in a while, I misjudge horribly and have way too many words and not enough room for them. And then I have to either get creative or do some editing. If I'm working with someone else, I have to be like, hey, can you reword this? Because I can't fit it. Thankfully, that hasn't happened yet working on this project. That happens to me sometimes working on my own stuff, like working on Age of Night. Sometimes I'll write in the script, and I've gotten pretty good at being like concise and to the point because I know I'm going to have to write all of it out by hand when I do that particular project. So it's like, okay, minimum amount of talking required to get my point across. But even then, I occasionally completely misjudge and have to like edit what people are saying on the fly. Just like, oh, I guess they're gonna say something a little bit completely different now because I don't have room for that. Because while I'm making these pretty big, like if I'm hand lettering, this is way bigger than the final piece is going to be, like when it's reproduced. So it gets shrunk down quite a bit, and you don't want the letters to become so small and cramped that they're running into each other and difficult to read. So try to just generally keep consistent unless there's like a reason in what's happening for it to be like bigger. But generally I don't go any smaller if I can at all help it. Okay, last panel to rough in. Got another word balloon over here. I've got another perspective grid already laid out. It's a little different than the one in the thumbnail, so this might require some messing around. We'll see. It's too high. See, I told you. I told you there would be a messing around while I try to figure this out. Nope. Just nope. Just nope. Okay, let's try that again. Scoot this slightly. It's going to come down a little. Back this way. Stay on the grid. Don't get all wonky. Don't get all wonky. Okay, I gotta change this a little bit here from the way I originally planned it. But that's okay, we can make this work. Did I go to PAX East? I did not, because you know what? PAX East was the same weekend as my local Comic-Con. So it was the same weekend as Bangor Comic and Toy Con. And I definitely wanted to make it to that because it's my local show. So I was not able to do PAX East. That word balloon can probably end up moving. The Bangor show was really great. That actually went really super well. What is happening with this head? It went really well. It was in the Bangor Mall, which was a little bit strange to me, but it worked out just fine. So we were all the artist and vendor tables were out in the concourse area of the mall. And some of the paneling, some of the panels and the celebrity signups and photo ops and stuff were in some of the old storefronts. And some other event type areas. But it went really well. Everybody was very enthusiastic. They had a really great turnout. I got to hang out with my artist friends, and I made a good amount of sales. So that was all really good. Had a good time. So it was well worth me going, even if I didn't get to do PAX. I feel like that needs to move. I think, no, that just looks very goofy. What are we doing? What are we doing here? That's not like it. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad it went well too. It's always you're always a little bit nervous when you're going into a convention of whether it's going to go well or be worth your time, or whether you're just going to spend all weekend staring at the wall and being like, what am I doing with my life? Because that's not something that you as an exhibitor can control. I can't control how much effort the organizers have put into securing a good attendance. I can't control how much they've put into the programming and how appealing it is to people or how well organized it is. All I can do is show up and do my best to sell my stuff, but I don't have a lot of control over how good of a show it is. and especially a show that's like, most shows have not happened the last couple of years. So you're like, do they still know what they're doing? Like, even if it was historically a good show, is it still going to be good? Has stuff changed? Like, has the audience changed? Like, there's just so many factors you don't have any way of even knowing before you're there. And so that's always a little bit stressful. But thankfully, it was really good. It went really well. The organizers did a great job, and I had a good time. So, all right. So we have everything. Everything is roughed in, all 5 panels, and all the perspective goodness. And now we're going to start trying to tighten up some of these pencils and get these a little bit more finished. I think I'm going to have to sharpen my pencil here. Just gently feed a little bit out and put it in the weird little barrel sharpener. All right. I'm going to have to make this hand holding a beer bottle make a little more sense here. What is happening? What is happening? Let's try that again. All right. Just the wrist. That's more like it. It's just getting a little bit away from me there. All right, now let's make this actually look like a beer bottle instead of whatever the heck that weird shape I had going on there was. Still have a weird shape going on. What are we doing? Thanks. Yeah, drawing hands is very intimidating, especially as like when you're, less experienced. And I still draw some downright funky looking hands that are not correct and make no sense. That still happens all the time. I try not to let them be like the final drawing, but I definitely still draw funny looking hands all the time that are not right. But you just have to like keep doing it. Like, there's really nothing for it but to keep trying. Because I know a lot of times like less experienced artists will be intimidated by drawing hands, and so their solution is to always like hide the hands, like the draw poses where the hands are not in frame, or like they're like behind the character's back or whatever. And it's like, I get why you want to do that, but you just got to get in there. You just got to get in there and do it. Not drawing them is not, putting them in pockets. Yeah, not drawing them is not going to help. Oh, yes, I'm carrying this giant box so you can't see my hands. Oh. Yeah, you gotta just get in there and try. And draw a whole bunch of really funny looking hands until you get slightly less funny looking hands. I don't know whether this cap is fitted or whether it's got a snap on the back, or if I didn't draw that last time. It looks like I never drew it, so I'm going to say it's fitted. I'm going to say he's got a nice fitted cap because he's like this is his Red Sox cap. He's like a for reals, very serious fan, so he has a nice fitted cap. He's very serious about the Red Sox. Don't ask me anything about baseball. I don't know. I just know that these two characters like the Red Sox. That's it. If you want to ask questions about baseball or talk about baseball, I will direct you to my friend Bryce Whitaker, who will talk your ear off about baseball, whether or not you're interested. All right. So we got one character there. What's this extra line doing here? There we go. Okay. One character. Next character. Let's start fleshing out this skeleton a little bit. It's the kind of in-between stage between skeleton and finished drawing. What does this guy's face look like? Hey, yep, new page. I finished the last one at the end of the last stream, so we're on to a new one. New I am the first page. I would have liked to have gone over to an Age of Night page, but I'm right at the end of a chapter, so I really don't want to spoil the ending. So after this page, hopefully we'll be able to switch back over to Age of Night pages for a bit. This guy has a beard. He's got his, like, army fatigue jacket. Tried to give these guys some amount of personality, even though they only show up for a couple of pages over the course of like only a couple of issues, but you know. Like, I have to spend just as much time drawing them if I make them generic and boring, or if I give a little bit of thought into what they're like and what they might be, you know, what their character might be like a little bit. It's going to take me just as long to draw either way if I give it the little bit of extra thought or not. So I may as well give it the little bit of extra thought and make it more interesting, more real. Oh, I think I meant for his arm to be going the other way. That's why that looks goofy. Yeah, I meant for it to be coming forward. I'm like, why is this not making sense? Because I'm doing it wrong. That's more like it. That makes more sense. I was like, why is this shoulder here? That's why. All right. So now I'm going to get my other eraser, if I can find it. This is like my favorite eraser. This is the Generals, I think. It's all worn off. I can't. No, it's a Papermate. It's a Papermate. I don't know. This one's just like my favorite. It's like just the right size. I think the refills I get from Generals. Like the Generals makes the right size refills for this. What is happening? What is happening there? All right. We've got our beer toast going on here. Oh, that hand doesn't make sense. That's why that looks goofy. Do you know why this hand doesn't make sense? So his hand, we're seeing the bottom of it. So it's angled. I'm trying to do this for the camera. So it's angled so that you're seeing the bottom, but the beer bottle is angled so you're seeing the top, which means that we've got like a clipping error going on. Whoops. Okay. That's not right. Let's draw the beer bottle, and then we'll figure out where the hand goes, because we've got the arm. That means you just got to come at it from a different angle. There's our beer bottle. There's his arm. So, okay, his hand is going to be like back here. That's looking very goofy, but we're getting in the right direction. If you'd just drawn a potted plant in front of their hands, you wouldn't have to deal with this. You're right, Spud. Good point. I'm just going to put a big teddy bear right here. Nope. It's fine. There. I don't have to draw them anymore. Oh, jeez. That was good. Thanks. That was a good laugh. Whew. Okay. I can also fix his arm if that's not working. His hands look like little worms. What's going on here? Now I'm like doubting my understanding of hands and stuff. All right. If it's his left hand. I'm going to be awkward and crane my neck to look at what I'm doing here. Yeah, because his thumb needs to be like up here to be bracing the beer bottle. There's his palm. First finger. Second wrapped around. Okay. All right. That's a better start, but I do need to adjust his arm a little bit. Because it's kind of awkward as is. It's fine. I'm just going to struggle for you guys for a little bit. I hope you enjoy. Enjoy my struggling. That looks goofy still. Arrgh. Okay, you know what? We're going to walk away for a minute. We're going to walk away. This is getting frustrating. We're going to come over here. We're going to work on this character for a minute because this character's frustrating me. So I'm getting to the point now I've erased it like 4 times and it's making me mad. So I'm going to work on this character and then maybe we'll come back to this in a minute because I'm getting aggravated. And sometimes that's what you got to do. So we're going to start fleshing out this character back here by the door who just came in. He's looking kind of sulking. Looking like he's kind of sulking. Okay. Erase some of this underdrawing. It's getting kind of messy there. Mustache. That collar side is too short. This guy back in here, almost certainly going to be causing trouble. It's just like what he does. All right, there he is. Skulking in. What time is it? It is 8:48. Okay, so we're coming up in the last 10-ish minutes or so. Getting there. It's a door. Hooray. Is there anything near the door? No, not really. I think there's like a table over here. Yeah, that's about it. Okay. We'll get the edge of the bar in there. Come back to you eventually. Maybe not tonight. Maybe not tonight. Maybe I'm too aggravated to deal with you tonight. Try not to get too wonky off of our grid here. Oh yeah, we need the exit sign. Oh no, it's not supposed to be sitting like right on. That's silly. That's silly. Okay, let's clean that up. Shouldn't be sitting on the door frame. That's very silly. That's not how exit signs work. It's up here, mounted on the wall, a little bit above the door frame. There we go. Let's see, we're in the last 10 minutes, so while I continue to kind of tinker away on this page, I'm going to go ahead and remind you of all the things. I am Amanda Calm. This is a page from the comic I Am the First, which is written by my friend Jeremy Flagg and drawn by me. So far, we have the first 2 chapters. 2 issues are available for sale on any place where you get your digital comics. So that's going to be Drive-Thru Comics, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, whatever else, all of those different, Apple Store, I think. All of those different places you can get the first 2 chapters of the comic. Ultimately, this is going to be 5 chapters. And then once all 5 chapters are released, we're going to release it as we're going to put it all together and release it as a graphic novel. So that is what is going on with this. So you should definitely check it out. And if you already have checked it out and you want to be our hero, you can go onto one of those sites where you purchased it and leave us a review, because that would be super awesome. And then other people can read it and be like, oh, this looks good. This person liked it. They said it was good. They left a nice review. So, yeah, if you can, that'd be awesome. You will often also see me on here working on Age of Night, which is my webcomic. Age of Night can be found at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. That's a fantasy webcomic that updates every Wednesday, and you can read the whole thing for free, although you can also buy copies of the first 3 volumes of that on Amazon or Drive-Thru Comics, Drive-Thru Fiction, and Drive-Thru RPG. So, options. Yay, the Redlocks won. Look, they're so happy. See? Those little socks, and it says win. Because I know things about sports. If you like watching me draw stuff and talk about it, then you should subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I do these every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern or thereabouts. You can also follow me on social media. I have a Twitter at Age of Night and an Instagram and TikTok at Amanda Call Art. Hey, thanks so much, Keith. Yeah, you too. Got a lot of work to do, but I think it's going to be a pretty decent week otherwise. Should get some stuff done. I'm leaving you for now. I can't deal with you tonight. Can't deal with you right now. Come down here for the last couple of minutes while I work. What else? I don't have any other events coming up right at the moment. Tomorrow night, I believe that myself and the rest of the Deimos Academy teams. Deimos Academy was a game that I worked on recently. Well, I'm still working on. We're finishing up, putting the finishing touches on it before it goes to print. We're doing a live stream pizza party to celebrate our Kickstarter success. So I think we're gonna advertise that probably on the Game and a Curry socials. So if that's something that sounds fun. Yeah, it should be fun. A lot of times our production meetings just turned into us hanging out and chatting, so it'll be fun to just hang out and chat and not even have the pretense of the production meeting. Just let's be real, we're just hanging out. Because my collaborators, Austin Taylor and Banana Chan, are just super fun, awesome people. So we are all very professional, but we are also all very sociable and good company. So All right, I got a good mannequin going here. I think that's going to be a good place to start from next week. So next week, we're going to pick this back up. I started tonight with just the panel borders and some perspective grids. Everything is roughed out. I've got a really good start on the finished pencils where this panel is mostly done except for this figure that's giving me heck, so I'm going to walk away from it for a bit. I started refining the pencils in this panel, so we are in a really good position to continue this next week. So thanks everybody for coming in, hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Bye.